Hey there, my name is Niandra, and earlier today Blizzard published another blog post about the Overwatch 2 beta. One of the paragraphs was about Mercy and talks about how they've been experimenting with making Superjump an official ability. Let me just quickly read out the most interesting parts of what was said, and feel free to skip to the timestamp on screen if you've already seen it. While there are many guides and videos for those wanting to learn the method, it ultimately requires a complicated sequence of keystrokes and conditions that are not accessible or apparent to the average player. Internally, we have started testing improvements to Mercy's verticality, leaning into the unintended consequences of player discovery. We want to take it a step further by making the ability to superjump more consistent for everyone, not just the players who know the not-so-secret technique. Okay, so I don't think adding Superjump is an inherently bad idea. There are numerous upsides, but I have three concerns that I want to talk about first. For me, my main worry is that Crouch GA, the tech needed for Superjump, has so many purposes outside of, well, Superjump. For example, if you crouch Guardian Angel and hit terrain, you can often bounce off it. Plus, Superjump isn't a static tech, there's a lot of nuance to it, and any experienced Mercy player can show you this. You can control your height with jump timing and can stay pretty low if you're early enough. Then there's the question of Superjump reses, which cancel if you do a full height Superjump. My number one concern is that if Superjump is added as an official ability, we'll lose out on all this complexity. Personally, I do not want Superjump as an ability whatsoever if it means getting a very dumbed down version. My concern is that we'll get a version that can only do a full height Superjump, which, while very useful and maybe the most common usage, doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what Mercy can do. Also, Mercy is already considered a very easy hero. Like, it's not hard to find people who say she takes no skill, just take a look at my fucking Twitter mentions. I don't want to fuel these players by simplifying a part of her kit that does take skill. However, let's say Superjump gets added and we can choose how we go, as this brings me on to my second point: what key do we use here? Keep in mind, console already struggles with its limited amount of buttons, as shown by Angelic Descent and Res being on the same button. All I can really think of is you tap GA twice to crouch GA and then everything else works the same, but even that kind of feels a bit too clunky for Blizzard's liking. Last of all, another big concern is that this will be used as a substitute for actual Mercy changes in Overwatch 2. Skiesti made a really good video about her problems with Mercy in the beta, and I fear that instead of addressing these various points, we just get given Superjump as an official ability. I don't want to say that Mercy often feels like an afterthought in regards to hero changes, but okay, you know how Mercy ended up with like a 2 health per second buff to her passive in the R2 beta? No, I think what I'm trying to say is sometimes it feels like they're afraid to make drastic changes because she's such a polarizing character, and I don't blame Blizzard, because like, let's be real, I say this as a Mercy main, us Mercy mains, we can be fucking insane, as can be the players that hate on us. Generally, my concerns are with how this gets implemented rather than the idea itself, which I think I'm okay with. At least, I can definitely see why they're doing it. Personally, I do love community-discovered techs and finding them myself. I love watching YouTube videos to learn things that the average player doesn't know. However, I am a dedicated player and a YouTuber who makes money off videos. I definitely understand wanting a game that is easy to pick up, especially when there's players with disabilities that may struggle with the key presses, or players on high ping that can't get the timing right. Plus, at this point, Superjump is extremely well known, there's no shortage of videos about it. You know, you can find players in silver, gold, bronze who can consistently do it. I think most Mercy players who don't Superjump just don't know it exists or don't want to use it, rather than they can't. This is definitely a double-edged sword, but Superjump being an official ability gives Blizzard more control over it and balancing Mercy in general. For example, Superjump gets a cooldown, but another part of her kit is able to be buffed in return. Also, if it does get added, there is a chance it will spawn even more tech because Guardian Angel just seems to be inherently buggy. Hey, maybe we'll end up with crazier shit like the Turbo Superjump or whatever. So yeah, that's basically it. I realize I focused much more on the negatives, but the blog post already kind of covers the positives, and I also think there's just more to say on that. I can't stress enough, I don't think this is an inherently bad idea, and it will be interesting to see what happens. Thanks for watching, feel free to check out my video where I show off over 25 Mercy techs to really see what I mean, and have a nice day.